like busting at the seams, super excited. I literally feel like we're in royal presence. It is such an honor to have you. We cannot thank you enough for being here.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I got super sick last week, and I know.
I got hurt too.
I totally lost my voice, so I sound so sexy. So that's why and I took a red eye last night because I wanted to be here so badly, and so it didn't help. So just know, I apologize for this. And I'll be talking like NPR.
Welcome to Royal Kingdom Podcast with Queen Lesli. All right, well, yeah, we're thrilled. Thank you again, especially given the circumstances. And
I would have missed this.
Awesome. And just a basic overview, we're going to do some interview with Lesli. We are going to eat the microphone. And then a lot of you have been asking about what is this Retreat to Broadway, so we're going to do a quick Retreat to Broadway 101 commercial. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A. Our panels are very intentional about our audience, you all, the fans, so we want to leave as much time open for Q&A. So we will definitely allow time for that, and we're so excited to be spending the next hour with you. Yeah, so, yeah, love it. So, this is great. Typically, servants move the Queen's things, but we want you as comfortable as possible here with high tea Queen Lesli. I was struggling a bit with, just setting a little ambiance, and I'm not royalty, but I figured some napkins with tea, and they're biodegradable, environmental friendly. I don't know if the royals have roosters. Cows, but here we go.
I was going to say something dirty.
But what is a high tea without a cup and a saucer and a spoon that are all chocolate? Yes. This is for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Lesli, I felt like royalty this week. They sent us 2 sets, one for you, one for me. Guys, Retreat to Broadway now is a chocolate sponsor. 10th and Pike Sweetshop.com. Amazing. It's all boutique artisan chocolate, right?
Artisanal chocolate?
Right. Who knew?
It's so Brooklyn.
Cup and saucer and a spoon.
This is so cute.
Right? And they are donating 30% of their proceeds from all their online sales to Retreat to Broadway this month.
Come on.
Yeah. The whole month of January. So we love 10th and Pike, the sweet shop.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, you can. It's like welcome to the chocolate factory.
Oh, it's really good, guys.
Yeah, and the last item, a chocolate teapot.
Oh my God.
There you go, Chip.
Thank you, instead of going Mrs. Fox, for
Right.
telling us coming over the edge. So cute.
So yeah, I'm very excited. This is what celebrities must feel like when they get a little sponsorship or something, right? I got a message saying there's something at the hotel for you. I go to pick it up. It says chocolate. I'm getting off the elevator to go find my room. I am sniffing this beautiful box of chocolate. I did not realize the gin is on the floor of my room. This beautiful man just after his workout, I am sniffing this chocolate. Yeah. It was very embarrassing, but hashtag fat for Broadway. We're going to start a new extension program. So anyway, welcome to High Tea.
Yay!
Is it good?
It's so good.
Okay, good.
It's almost gone.
Awesome.
This is riveting content, I know.
Yeah, so how is this con going for you, Lesli?
Well, I was bummed because I couldn't be here yesterday. And so it's been like a whirlwind this morning, but I'm so happy. You guys, this is my favorite thing like of the year. And is there anybody who was here from the first year? That was like the best cast, and since then I love it so much. Star Wars musical. I'm really happy it's back here. Yeah. The Javits Center was like massive and horrible. Yeah. Just on Instagram. Margherita's Javits is massive and horrible. I'm really happy it's back here, and it just like I couldn't miss it, and I love seeing all of you guys, and it's just awesome, and I love it. I love it.
Awesome. How many of you, it's your first time here at BroadwayCon? Awesome. Welcome. So excited.
You're wasting your hour with me.
So Lesli, I wanted to know, and I know a lot of your fans I'm sure want to know, how do you manage to stay so authentic and positive in this world of show business? You are just, a shining example of just really authenticity and positivity. How do you do it?
I try, yeah. I think, at least for me, I have to be honest, because the thing is, bad days, anxiety, everything happens to everybody. And I think it's important, especially on social media, where everything is filtered and perfect. Not that I filter my pictures, but like, you see things through a lens, and I think it's really important for other people to realize that not everything is perfect, especially performers and actors. We have crappy days too, and awful auditions, and get rejected every day. I never saw a problem with saying I just tanked that audition, because I know that somebody else did. And it's a hard thing, because I know that, I just saw a friend of mine, Jeffrey Schechter, that I think it's a hard thing to know as a performer what you should say and what you shouldn't, because there is a camp that's like, don't put anything bad on social media, or they'll think that you're not working, or that you tanked an audition. I was like, well, why is that bad? But I try and be as authentic as possible. I know my husband's like, maybe not so authentic. But I try and be, just because I wish somebody was real with me. And my parents always encouraged me to be me, and so I like to encourage people to be themselves and rule their kingdoms. But yeah, I think you have to find the fun, and you have to stay positive. And it's tough. Trust me, there are days where I'm like, it's hard, but I kind of find solace in other people online being like, yes, we go through that as well, in a weird way. Not that I want people to feel as miserable as I am, or eating a wheel of cheese, like, but there's like something, a commonality where you're like, okay, everybody goes through this stuff.
And you mentioned childhood, and can you tell us, like, just briefly about, we have a good amount of time, but just your road to Broadway and
you guys, my road to Broadway went so I grew up on a cattle ranch. On a cattle ranch, and my sisters were much older when I was the youngest, but I would tap dance on the septic tank because it had amazing sound. And I started dancing first, and then my mom took me to see Annie in San Francisco, and one of the orphans messed up, and I was like, I could totally do that. And so they were looking for more kids. They were like touring the Bay Area, whatever. And my dad got me the application. And there's a point to this story. I show up, I was like, I'm gonna audition. My mom was like, you've never sung in your life, whatever. I'm like, I'm going. And we get there, and there's like 500 little girls, all in beautiful dresses and curls, and I am just off the ranch in jeans and like look like a mess. And my mom said that there was a man that was sitting in the front just kind of watching everything, and thought it was a monitor or whatever. And I was on a folding chair making fart noises with nothing has changed. But I ended up getting that job, and what was so important for me as a kid was I was fearless, and I was different than everybody else that was there. I didn't once, and I remember this so clearly, looking at those little girls, and I was like, how are you gonna dance with your hair like that? Like I was very clear that I was who I was at a young age, And then like teen years, it goes away. And I have to kind of remember like how fearless and how free I was as a kid. It gets better after teen years. But I always knew I wanted to be on Broadway. I just loved California. And my dream was to work at Disneyland, to perform at Disneyland. And so I knew that I wanted to go to college in Los Angeles just because I wanted to work at Disneyland. And I did. So, and I did, and I met Stephanie Block and Eve Espinosa, and like all these people that are, you know, such good friends of mine now. We all had that experience. And I eventually was like, I'll get to Broadway, And I got sidetracked, luckily, ended up doing like TV stuff. And I stayed in LA, and I did amazing, amazing regional theater with friends of mine like Jeffrey Schachter. We did Grease, and we did Natalie Launch together. And like, it's the best. I just loved the theater scene in California. Yeah, and regional theater, you guys, is like my favorite thing in the world. I love it. And those shows are always sometimes better than Broadway shows. It just happens. And so Broadway kind of got put to the side a little bit. And I kept, though, flying out for some stuff and wasn't getting anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in LA. And then this is why my journey went like this. Then years go by and I'm doing TV and regional stuff and was just kind of like, well, eventually Broadway will happen, maybe. And I just had gotten so many no's. So then I got an audition for one act workshop of Zorro the musical. But when I got that audition, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a winner. and I just pictured like Party City Zorro, like a horrible mask, like just dancing around. And I got an audition for one role, and I went in, and because I knew what I was, I knew I wasn't the ingenue, I knew like I was gonna be the little more brassy one. I walked in and I was like, I want to audition for this other role. They said, fine. And then 3 years of workshops happened all over, New York, San Francisco, LA. And then I ended up going to the West End before I'd ever done a Broadway show. Still auditioning for Broadway shows and still hearing no. But I learned there's a reason. It's because I was different. And you just have to wait for your time because different will be what somebody's looking for eventually. But yeah, you have to be yourself. And I was really frustrated that I wasn't getting Broadway shows, but because I was different, you just have to wait for that one. So, cut to, I'm in London, and the Matilda people saw my show. And like a year after that, I got an email from a friend of mine that I had done Zorro with, and he was like, there's this show opening, and it's got your name all over it, this role. And I remember I got the CD, and listened to it, and I was like, oh my God, no one else can play this role. But going, I've never done a Broadway show, and I'll probably get another no. But I ended up flying myself out there for months, like back and forth, and finally got Matilda, but it was the Brits that gave me a break. I think the good thing about it taking so long, I mean, I didn't get to Broadway until my 30s. Like it took so long, but I never gave up on that dream. It just took a little while to get there. And I think the no's were really important. I don't think I could have handled being 19, 20, or I just met Andrew, like he's going to Evan and like, it was just bad. But like, that's a lot of pressure. Even the kids in Matilda, I'm like, you are holding down a multi-million-dollar show and you're 8, and they just were fearless and didn't care. So that again taught me, go back to when you're younger and you're fearless and can do anything. But yeah, my road to Broadway was not typical, and that's okay. I'm happy it happened that way, because when I finally got there, I appreciated it so much, and I still appreciate it so much. I still like can't believe anybody's here listening to me in my NPR voice. Like it means so much to me. And when I finally got to the first preview, I just was like bawling, because it's like just happened. Like it finally was happening. And I remember standing backstage, and I had listened to the recording so many times driving on the freeway in LA. going, I don't know if I'll get to play this role, I'll get to play this role. And then I walked on stage and started saying those words, and I lost it. And Gabe was like, I was so happy to be there. So if you're feeling like it's never gonna happen, it will, I promise you, if you just keep going, but you cannot give up. And hopefully, you know, I'm living proof of that it just happens when it's supposed to happen. But there's no clear path. There's no clear path. It's a long, convoluted story, but it's a long, convoluted life.
Followed you the whole way. And Lesli, humble as always, she won the Olivier Award for that
It's the British Tony. People here go, the Oliver Award. What was that? But you guys, I won the Olivier and was like, I will finally now get to do a Broadway show. I came back 2 weeks later, flew out, and was so close to 2 shows. And I didn't get either one of them. And that was a real downer, because I was like, I just won this award and I'm still getting no's. It never stops. It never stops. And once you realize that it never stops, be okay with it. Because it just, learn to just be okay with the no's. But yeah, it took like a year till I finally got the yes.
Amazing. True testament of persistence.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going. So you are very well known for your mantra, rule your kingdom. And amazing album, amazing merch. If you haven't been to LesliMargherita.com, highly encouraged. It's so great, and it's so visually appealing and fun to be on there. And
Thanks.
awesome stuff. So yeah, it's great. It says a lot about me. But I love it. So I'm just curious how that came about. How did that
So I always called myself Queen as a kid, and I wrote Leslie Rules on everything. I talked about it in the show. And I think I just would always call myself Queen, just because I always say that if people are going to give you a label, you might as well give yourself one that you like. And that could be anything, really. But and I keep having to explain this because I'm so sorry if you've all heard this before, but me calling myself Queen has nothing to do with me thinking I'm awesome, or I do think I'm awesome, but has nothing to do, you know, with like, oh, she thinks she's better than everybody else. It's not. It is the reminder that I control me, I rule my little kingdom. Nobody can tell me who I'm supposed to be. Nobody can tell me how I'm supposed to act, what I'm supposed to say, because they don't rule, I do. And that is my own reminder. I'm so glad that it just kind of stuck. And so you know, I've been doing cabaret shows in LA and no one cared. But we've been doing, I've had the same people that I do the shows with, and we've been doing these one on Chrissy, I've been to all of them now. But I kept telling these lessons, my life lessons, and so finally we were like, we should just put this all together into one thing. And the lesson was rule your kingdom, and so it's why we did the live album of it, because for me, the stories that go along with those songs are just as important as the songs themselves. And I'm so happy that we finally got to record it. But yeah, it's about like just ruling yourself and being okay with being weird, being okay with being different. That's what makes you special. That's what's gonna make you stand out and honestly just to everybody else. I see things. I always read message board quotes in my shows. And I can't look for them anymore. My friend Lauren looks for them and weeds out the really mean ones. But I look at stuff like that and I'm like, why do I care that somebody wrote something horrible about me? But you do, we all do. So I had to find a way to like be okay that not everybody likes me, and that's fine. It's fine. And once I kind of adopted that of like, you don't have to like me, it's fine. It was so freeing just to be like, okay, next. It really was. So the show and ruling your kingdom is kind of all about that, being you.
Yeah, it's a great show, great album, highly recommend it. Yeah, it's great, entertaining, inspiring, hilarious. So wondering if you can share a specific time in your career when it was difficult to rule your kingdom, whether it was self-doubt, fear, your own criticism, you know.
Yeah, I think there have been a couple times. in college, I lucked out and got on a television series, and I automatically, because I was 18, was like, oh, this is easy. That show went 22 episodes, was a spectacular failure. And then I was out of a job, and I was like, well, this is easy, I'll just get another television series, and I didn't. And that was the first time that I started to doubt myself, and it was really the first time in my life that I didn't go, like that kid auditioning for Annie, that I didn't go, well, I'm just gonna get it. Like, it's just gonna happen. That really made me question what I was doing, and some people that were producing this show weren't so nice to me. You know, you come from being so fearless as a kid, and then you end up with crappy part of the business of somebody being like, well, you're the fat funny girl, or you're the non-attractive sidekick, and you start to believe that. But I'm like, no, it's just that you're an asshole. Like, you know, it just like, but I forgot that. And so that was really tough for me, like kind of coming into my 20s. But I went back to performing at theme parks. I went back to doing what I loved. And that was so helpful to get my confidence back. But then the other part was coming back from London and not thinking like, okay, finally it's gonna happen, and it didn't. And yeah, the doubts creep in. The doubts creep in all the time, you guys. The doubts creep in when I'm working on a show. The doubts creep in, you know, all the time. Auditions, I hate auditioning. Anyone who says they love it is lying. I get incredibly nervous. It's normal, but it's something that I have to do. But the doubts never leave. And I think having the down times that I did really helped me. Just kind of knowing how to deal with those down times, because you're always going to have the down times. But the doubt never leaves. The doubt and the low, there are low days. I just, you know, try and smile through it. But everybody has them. You know, and still, there are heartbreaking things that happen, heartbreaking to me in my career, and everybody goes through it, though. That's the things you have to remember, that everybody goes through all this stuff, not getting roles. And you guys know, it's, you know, no matter what level it's on. I was just as devastated in high school if I didn't get roles as I am now. You know, it's no different. But yeah, there were some low times, and it was definitely having to do with not getting jobs. But during those low times is when I figured out that I had to separate me from my work. I am not my job. Me not getting a show doesn't mean that I'm no good. I started just really separating that and having other interests and doing things that had nothing to do with show business, because it really feels like sometimes when you don't get a role, it feels like a personal attack. And it's so not. It's so not. It doesn't mean they don't like you. Well, sometimes they don't like me, but it